Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode. Today we're gonna speak about the retention strategy. Before starting, let's make sure that you understand how impactful the retention rate is on your business. So let's presume you've just started your e-commerce website and that's the first year. Of course, you can't focus too much on the retention rate because you need to acquire more customers. But from the second year or from the third year, the retention rate becomes vital. And that's how impactful the retention rate is in the total revenue of your website. So if it's 10%, there's not too impactful. But if it's 20, 40 or 60, then your revenue in the sixth year is going to be up to 4 times bigger than normally if you have a retention rate of around 60%. Imagine that you have a restaurant. In a restaurant, you will hunt for new customers, or you will have some amazing customers that you take care about and that are coming 2, 3 or 4 times a week on your restaurant. So if they come 2 times, that means in a total year, a customer will come 104 times. So that means that customer is 104 times more important in the revenue of your business than a customer which, let's presume, it's just a tourist that is in the city and comes only 1 time. So mainly you need to cherish and you need to nurture the relations that you have with your existing customers. The first order on your website means the moment when you've invited a girl to dinner and she's accepting. So mainly that's the first step. And you constantly need to monitor the retention rate and how many times they are buying from your website. So you need to install this good habit. But is the retention rate so important on any website, in any vertical? No. So if you are selling, let's say, cars, so that's the purchase frequency, of course, you're not buying a car so often. And then appliances, furniture, school supplies, phone cases. So here's the item value and here is the purchase frequency. As you can see, office supplies, that can be a very interesting vertical, luxury, electronics, supplements, or any type of things which you buy very often. So the more often they buy, the more focus you should have on the retention rate. And now let's take a look at how to build an RFM model and how to segment your audience and how to nurture and craft a real loyalty program. Frequency. Frequency means how often that customer bought from you. If they bought 5 times, let's say you give them a frequency, the highest frequency score, which is 4. If they've bought 3 or 4 times, you give them a frequency score of 3. If they bought only 2 times, you give them 2. And if they bought only 1 time from you, you give them 1. And then is the monetary value, which of course, depending on the average order value and the total lifetime value of your customers, you can group them into different groups. Let's say you can group them into the ones which bought more than $1,000 US from you. If the average order value is 100, let's say, that means these are your best customers. Then 3 is for the ones which bought between, I don't know, 500 and 1,000. 2 is for the ones which bought from $200 to $500. And 1 is for the ones which bought less than $200. After you group them, you will have like a big database with the customer's name, then the recency score, the frequency score, the monetary value, and the total RFM score, which you can use like this. And then after you've grouped them into these categories, you should go further and act on them. You can build a loyalty program that takes into account the total RFM score, or you can group them only if you are focusing only for the ones which bought more recently. Then you can have certain promotions or strategies that focus on them to increase the recency score. And why we are grouping these people like that? Because the ones which are buying more, which bought more recently, are more willing to buy. The ones which are buying more frequently, they are more likely to buy again from me. And of course, the ones which are buying goods which are more expensive or their total lifetime value is bigger, these are the most important. So mainly the RFM model is a model that allows us to use Pareto but on 3 directions: how often, how much, and how recent. And let's see how can we build a loyalty program based on that. How can you build the loyalty program based on the RFM score? First of all, you need to have for each customer his RFM score. Then you should group them based on their RFM scores. So first you allocate the RFM scores, second you group them, third you brainstorm. So let's presume we have platinum, gold, silver and bronze based on their RFM scores. 10 to 12 is platinum, 7 to 9 is gold, 4 to 6 is silver, and an RFM score less than 4 means bronze. But what's behind that? A platinum can be a customer that bought bought the latest between now and 30 days ago, bought more than $1,000 and bought 5 times from your website. So that's why he has a 12 score. So he has R score 4, M score 4, and the frequency score 4 as well. After we've done that and after we've grouped them, then we can start to brainstorm on that. So I've put here some ideas around what can you do for each type of group. So let's say you can give him a personal assistant, like, hello, I'm Jeremy, nice hearing from you again, Mr. John. So you can give this special service, like a special personal assistant for platinum and gold customers. Then you have the free delivery for platinum and gold as well. The free return, you can give this as a lifetime benefit for the ones which are reaching this gold or platinum state, or for only 6 months for the silver ones, yeah? Free return for 6 months if you are in the silver category, or 2 months free return for the ones which are in the bronze category. You need to take into account the value of each benefit, because free delivery can be much more appealing than the free return, or vice versa, depending on your product. From my perspective, you need to understand this thing. So if you have a return rate of 30% and you have a delivery rate of 100%, that means a return is 3.3 times less expensive than a delivery, right? So if you give this benefit, you pay the same amount for the delivery. It's only that only 1/3 of your customers are going to ask for the return. But the perceived value in the minds of your audience, it's totally different, because that diminishes the fear and the friction, while free delivery, it can be almost like a standard in your industry. Then the priority support, you can give this for platinum and gold as well. Priority on delivery, a courtesy call which you can do 7 days after a customer has bought from your website. And of course, other smart stuff that you can add over here. This is only an example, but it's very useful that you understand how to structure the loyalty program. So you don't come up with benefits. You first group your audience and you take into account how many of your audience is in the platinum state, because that can mean like 2% of your audience, or in the gold you can have like 8%. So these are the most valuable customers, because those groups alone can give you more than 50% of your profit. So let's recap. First of all, you build your RFM model. That means you group your visitors based on their recency, frequency, and monetary values. Then you run surveys for each important segment. What does it mean? After you group them, you might want to find out what keeps valuable customers which used to buy more than $1,000 from you 1 year ago from continuing to buy. Or vice versa, what motivates the ones which are continuing to buy, so that you shift your advertising, your positioning, or your loyalty program according to the things that they are valuing the most. Of course, you need to take into account if they are not satisfied, what's the most important thing that they are not appreciating. Is it a thing about the products or about the services? Because this step, it's called the hygiene step, where you find out what's affecting your retention rate. So what's the most important factor that keeps visitors from continuing to buy from your website? And then you solve the problem. So you go there, and if it's a matter of services or delivery time or return policy, you solve that. Because unless you solve it, the other thing is only cosmetics. So let's presume you've solved that. You go to the cosmetic steps, where you can understand how much can you invest, how much can you afford to invest to keep customers to buy from you. So instead of running on the acquisition game and supporting Google and other big fat guys, what if you can invest things into your own business? I'm going to tell you a bit of a story about my own experience. So we were struggling, and we were investing like 400,000 euro per year in AdWords. And we were struggling to understand what can we do to amplify and to keep visitors to customers to keep coming to us. And I was in the car insurance game. And we had only 6 or 7 euro to invest. And we were brainstorming, and at some point we've got it. We've understood that we are actually not selling insurance. We are selling a tax. So it's the MTPL is not that important, right? The motor third party liability. So we've decided to give some positive emotion to the guys which are paying that insurance. And we've took 3,000 people from our database, and we've delivered 3,000 anniversary cakes because we knew when it's their birthday. So that went amazing because our net promoter score went to roof. Of course, their retention rate went up as well. And also on the survey that we've run at the end of the order, from where you've found out about us, the recommendation from a friend got a very important part of it. So mainly on the cosmetic steps, put your brain to work and understand what can you do different. Yeah? Instead of paying AdWords for acquisition, what if you can pay something to invest in your own customers, in your existing customers? So the brainstorming based on your budget is a very important step. One more important thing. So let's presume you have this brainstorming. One important thing that I've understood is that even though some ideas sound very, let's say, appealing, they are not. So it's like going into a mine after gold, right? So you go there and you should dig deeper and deeper and deeper. So in this brainstorming process, don't stop until you have 100 ideas around how to use properly the budget and how to get the best retention and the best amplification. Another important step here is to simply execute. At the execution game, too many people are falling, but I'm going to give you a tip that I'm using as well. So if you wake up in the morning and if you are not envisioning the end game, the dream that you have, you're not going to make it. So mainly it's a game that takes into account your inner dialogue. So you need to talk to yourself and to decide, okay, I'm going to do this. So not jumping into other ideas, not doing the day-by-day stuff, but what you've said you're going to do, just do. Then you analyze the impact of your strategy, of your loyalty program or this segmentation, and you see how this is going further. There are many channels that you can use to communicate. One channel is the email. Another channel is the app, if you have such a thing. Another channel is the phone, so you pick up the phone and call your customers. And another important channel is your own website. So by using OmniConvert, for instance, you can do real-time web personalization based on the RFM score. And in this manner, you have a top-notch technology and also the intelligence behind knowing your customer. So after you finished it and after you're analyzing this, restart the process again without taking into account the building of the RFM model, but the monitoring of the satisfaction, of the factors that are influencing the retention, and of course the impact of your whole game. So thanks for watching. That was the third episode. See you next time.